It's been quite a week. This week's video is going to be a bit different than normal. I am going to be going into the topic that I mentioned in the title, but this video is also going to be kind of a personal video as well, because as of a few weeks ago, I was helping out somebody who was wanting to move within Italy. And after looking into moving for someone else, I started looking into moving for myself, and I'm going to be moving soon. Although at this point in time, I'm not going to be sharing exactly where I'm going to be moving to and when it's going to be, but hell, you know what? I'm going to move to... Hey, what's up? I'm Rafael Di Furia, aka Rafi D is me, and I am back at it again on another beautiful Friday night. For those of you who are regular viewers and subscribers of my channel, be sure you stick around to the end of the video. I have some questions for you guys that I'd really love to hear some feedback on. But before we get too much deeper into the video, if you'd like to see more content like this about moving to Italy, Italian dual citizenship, and living life abroad, please be sure to subscribe with that notification bell turned on. And if you could also give this video a like, I'd really appreciate it, as it does help out the channel. And if you'd like to help out the channel in a different way on a monthly basis, you can go to rafaeldifuria.com/Patreon to become a monthly patron, or rafaeldifuria.com/support if you just feel like helping out one time. But moving in Italy, not moving to Italy, moving in Italy, within the borders of the nation, domestically. This is something that is quite a bit different, coming from that American perspective, that American mindset. Moving in Italy is a very different thing, and it is not a common thing either. Like I've mentioned in previous videos about renting apartments and other things that have to do with these subjects, people end up staying in one place for much longer here. What actually seems to be very out of the norm is using the services of a mover. This video isn't going to be too much about how to do it, but a little bit more about my personal experience with it thus far. And thus far, it has been hectic, to say the very least, and I feel like I've gotten nothing done so far. Already got the apartment lined up. I've been waiting for the contract for a couple of weeks now, but whatever, things in Italy move slower, and that's just a fact, just something that you have to be prepared for, which I was prepared for, so it's not something I'm letting myself get stressed out over. But then, of course, it's put me into a position of not being able to nail down having a mover ready for the move. And just even trying to get a mover in this country, it's very, very far from normal. I was speaking to a friend of mine recently about this, and he said, in Italy, this isn't something that we really do so much. If you're moving as a young person to the big city, and you're not taking much with you, and you just build up and accumulate your stuff over there, and you stay there and make a family there, or you move in with your partner to another city. Just also a quick point that I would like to mention, there have been a lot of questions about my experience with purchasing a home in Italy, and I can say thus far I have none. I am a person who gave up everything to be able to just barely get to Italy, but that is a subject which I will be looking into a lot more in the very near future, without a doubt. I already actually do have a decent enough understanding of how some of the system works, but not to the point where I feel comfortable doing a video overview about the subject. But then getting back to the whole subject of movers, it's expensive out here. I mean, there have been multiple movers that I've spoken with. You would think that moving your stuff would be less expensive than just buying everything completely new again. But yeah, no, there have been movers that I've spoken with here in Italy to move domestically, just not even that far. What I can say for sure about where I'm moving is that it is south of Merano, because just about everything is south of Merano. A move that's not even that far distance away, at least in American terms. Most of the quotes that I've received have been for way more than it even cost me to move intercontinentally. And I'm talking about having my stuff sent on a boat and going through a couple of different ports, then being driven from Rotterdam all the way down here to Italy. And then once it got to Italy, then it was put into a Sprinter van and then brought to me. This was still less expensive than moving domestically. Again, I had this conversation with a friend. They said, well, usually people who are from the area, they may know someone who has a truck, and maybe they just offer that person with that truck some cash to move them from one side of town to the other, but not necessarily for moving across country. But I do happen to know of someone here who's a family friend who I've been able to ask, and he said he knows a guy with a truck, because in Italy, it's all about knowing a guy. Really, a lot of things come down to knowing a guy here. And so my guy knows a guy who has a truck and may know some guys who can help me move. Let's see. I'm still working on that part. Also, one of the reasons why I am moving is because in Alto Adige, it is very expensive. Like I've mentioned, those of you who've been watching my videos recently know I've been talking about this because it has been on my mind. And like I said, I was previously helping somebody with this process, so it's been something more on my mind than usual. And having kind of decided to take that jump myself has been dealing with a whole new side of the Italian system. It was something that I knew existed because I knew about it. I knew my rental contract up and down, left and right. But the one really annoying thing about this move is that because I have decided to end my contract early, and with the contract that I currently have, there is a set period of time, which is a matter of months, not like just 1 month's notice. It is like half a year. And so what I've been dealing with this week is cleaning up my apartment, getting everything packed. But then on top, today I was thinking, oh, today maybe I'll have a nice relaxing day, get a lot of work done and make this video and just have a laid back day. But a friend of mine who, again, another guy, I've got a guy for apartments too. So I have another guy who's helping me with renting my apartment here and finding a replacement to take over the apartment and sign a new lease. Today there was an announcement put out and I was just getting call after call after call, WhatsApp messages left and right for people who are wanting to find an apartment, because where I live, it is very difficult to get a rental apartment. For every one apartment, there can be 100 people trying to rent it. And I'm not even exaggerating one bit. I don't even know how many people I spoke to today, but it was for sure in the double digits just within the matter of a few hours. So for me to get out of my rental agreement, I think I'm going to be able to do that. Generally, I wouldn't say it would be a wise decision, but I'm taking a chance here, hoping that I find someone here, because in this region where I live right now, to find somebody shouldn't be difficult. I'm banking on the fact that I should be able to find somebody here in this region. If I can't, then that's going to be an issue that I'm going to have to deal with at that time. I actually was planning to stay in this region much longer, but for various reasons, I don't believe this area is quite the appropriate place for me to be long term. I was hoping it would be, but maybe this is a video I will go into another time. Really, the elephant in the room is that it is expensive here. It is ridiculous here. Those of you who saw the video when I went down to Bologna, the cost of a coffee down there versus here, just think about that, but in terms of rent. Here in Alto Adige, for example, a place that would be 150 square meters. If you need a conversion for that, hey Siri, okay Google, how much is 150 square meters in feet? If that activated your phone, then my job is done. But in this region, I have seen apartments like that are furnished or even unfurnished go for between 1,200 and 2,000 euros. But then I've been looking around the country. There are places that are much, much, much less expensive. There was one apartment that I saw online recently that was 180 square meters, completely unfurnished. So that means no kitchen. You would have to put in all of the cabinets, a sink, dishwasher if you want it, every last little detail. The apartment didn't even have light fixtures in it. So really, like, the apartment, nothing. And that apartment was about like 650, 700 euros plus the spese condominiali. The spese condominiali are basically monthly building fees for the upkeep of the building. But that was a lot more space than I would ever need, at least at this point in my life. Even I know someone here in Merano who's living in an apartment that is a 3-room apartment, which is basically a 2-bedroom apartment, because 3 rooms is 2 bedrooms plus a living room. Sometimes they count the kitchen as a room depending on where you are and who you're speaking to. But this apartment specifically is 2 bedrooms plus a living room, furnished, and they are spending about, say, 950 euros, maybe it's 1,000 euros, plus like 100 plus on the spese condominiale. Even I know another person who's living in a 1-room apartment in this town, and they're paying about 800, another person who's paying about 750. So Merano ain't cheap. It is beautiful though. Like, that is one thing that I'm going to miss, the beauty of the mountains here. Every time I'm walking around, I just feel like I'm in a postcard. It is gorgeous. There's part of me that will miss that, but I'm not disappointed that I'm going to be leaving the area. But even going back to the cultural side of moving in Italy, a couple months ago was having a conversation with a student, and she said to me, oh, well, I hope you don't move away after the Easter vacations. I was like, well, why not? Because we were talking about how it's much more common for Americans to be moving. Like, it's this move like every 1, 2, 3 few years is not uncommon, and to move from one state to another state is not uncommon, or to move across country is not uncommon either. And for this particular person, the idea of moving is like, oh, how could you move so much in your life? How could you do that to yourself? Oh, this is truly a travesty. It was just kind of funny in that experience to have that interaction with this person. The next place that I'm moving to, I can imagine that it could be a place of interest for me for long term, but I am at a point in my life where I really would like to set down some roots a bit more than I have and really settle into a life more in one place. I absolutely cannot imagine going anywhere else. Even with all of the countries that I've lived in and have been to and traveled to, I've never had that feeling about anywhere else. So that's something that I can say seems pretty sure. I spent a long time working my butt off to get here, so I'm not giving up. Anyway, that's just kind of some stuff that's been going through my mind this week. And so this kind of leads me into what I was talking about at the very beginning of the video. For those of you who have been watching my videos, keeping up with the videos that I make and the posts that I make across social media, I wanted to ask you guys something. There seem to be a few groups of you with a bit of overlap in between. There seem to be the group of people who are more interested in just informational, practical videos than there are some of you who seem more interested in the videos just kind of going out and about, talking about Italy itself or the area that I live in. Then there's another group of you that seem to be more interested in just me talking about my life and what's going on. And so in these videos, I'm trying to figure out what's the right balance of informational versus sharing about my own story versus showing fun stuff too. Are you guys looking more for kind of fun, lighthearted subjects, or are you guys looking for hard-hitting, serious subjects, or somewhere in between? One of the reasons why I make these videos is because before I was moving to Italy, I was looking for information like the videos that I make, and there weren't really videos like what I was looking for. There were some, but not that many. Really any that got into the detail that I try to get into sometimes. Sometimes I just do overviews, sometimes I try to get into the nitty-gritty of things, and talking about just life from a real perspective, and not like la dolce bella vita and the pizza, pasta, and amore. Of course, you know that there are shirts, mugs, onesies, and more available, so if you're interested in supporting the channel, that's possible to do. Link down in the description. I had to mention it. I want to hear from you guys who are the ones who are regularly watching these videos. There have been a number of you who've told me that my Friday videos have become a part of your Friday routine. So I feel honored. So thank you for making me a part of your week, really. The first time I heard that, I was just kind of like, wow. And every time since then, it hits me. There's just kind of this shock and disbelief that it's like, whoa, it's crazy for me to think about. Even I've bumped into people on the streets who've recognized me because of the videos that I've made. And that's been an even more of a strange kind of thing of stopped me and, hey, you're that guy who made that video about the Christmas market in my town, right? Well, that would depend. Did you like the video or not? But hey, like, I'm always happy to meet people and say, hey, meet up, grab a coffee, whatever. I'm always down for that. Just so you know, if you ever see me on the street, always please feel free, welcome to say hey. Like, I'm always down to say hey and chit chat for a little if I'm not rushing. Anyway, thank you for those of you who have stuck around to the end of this video. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and maybe found some part of it a bit informative. This has just been quite a week. So I thought maybe about trying something new, and I'll be trying different things as time goes on with these videos. Maybe there are going to be some of you who feel like this video is not out of the norm for my videos, but for me, it does feel that way very much so. I really do look forward to hearing your feedback and hearing what you guys think and what you want to see, what you don't want to see, what's interesting to you, what's not interesting to you. I'm totally open to hearing some constructive criticism. But if you would like to see more content like this about moving to Italy, Italian dual citizenship, and living life abroad, please be sure to subscribe with that notification bell turned on. And if you could also give this video a like, I'd really appreciate it, as it does help out the channel. And if you'd like to help make more videos like this possible on a monthly basis, you can go to rafaeldifuria.com/Patreon. Or if you'd like to help out just once, you can go to rafaeldifuria.com/support. And for shirts, mugs, baby onesies, and more with all different sorts of designs like pizza, pasta, and amore, that's it, I'm moving to Italy, different flavors of gelato, and more, you can go to rafaeldifuria.com/NYAG gear. All of the links are down below. And as always, I'm Rafael Di Furia, aka Rafi D is me. Thank you for joining me on another beautiful Friday night. I hope you all have a great weekend and a great week, and I look forward to seeing you all next Friday. Later.